Hey, Evulsion here. Played some of this Pokemon Showdown and saved a couple matches, including my first loss, which ended up being a pretty tough battle, but that's there at the end. Here at this first one, this was kind of an easy one. This cloth that I had just kind of put a whooping on all of this Pokemon he ended up, which has now happened to me 3 times, so I guess we'll see how this goes as I continue to do these random battles. I really wish I could figure out how to do just a Gen 2 battle so I could try and show Shuckle to you guys. Here's the second battle. This one here, I'm going to actually talk a little bit of strategy for this. So I am the Arceus up in the top right. I don't know why it flipped me for this battle, but this Porygon Z, or this Porygon 2, it was good. And he had some good tactics, and so what he ended up doing, he kept using Discharge, Tri-Attack, those little things, and then we both had Recover. And so once I got paralyzed, I knew eventually he ends up using an Ice Beam, and so I was looking at my moveset because in this battle, or in this Pokemon Showdown, they're all completely random, so I have to look at the moves and see if I either remember them or I need to look and see. And Calm Mind was always one I loved using back in the day because you boost your special attack, special defense, and I knew this Porygon 2 was only special attack. So eventually I end up using Calm Mind. It ends up boosting me a lot. He starts using Ice Beam. I knew that he couldn't freeze me because I was paralyzed, and we both had Recover. So that's why I ended up just sticking it out with him. But here towards the end, if you look, we end up going, probably 20 turns or something like that. But if you look, it gets really good. That's where I kind of talked ahead of what I did, but it turned into a little bit of a chess match, which has always been one of my favorite things about Pokemon. If you look right here, as I started using all the Calm Minds, then my special attack and special defense, I was boosted to 3. So each of his attacks just started getting worse and worse. And I knew that my Fire Blast, I was trying to get him about right where that was, and I was going to destroy him. And now this is the 3rd match, and this one was a battle, so check it out. Here in this 3rd match, this Cobalion, man, that thing was strong. I did not realize how strong it was, but it one-hit my Cyclizar, which kind of sucked, and that just kind of sent me on a defense the entire time. Right there, I threw out Rhydon just strategy-wise, so I threw out Stealth Rock because so far playing Pokemon Showdown, people like to switch Pokemon a lot, and I have not really been that type unless I know for sure I have somebody that I could destroy. In these randoms, it's really hard for me to just swap somebody, so I've been trying to just play with it and keep going. Anyways, threw out Rhydon because I figured I'd have some good defense, and that should help. And this Pelipper in the match, I'm not going to talk the entire time, but this Pelipper was a monster and ended up almost single-handedly destroying me, which is annoying because I don't know if a Pelipper has ever done that to me my entire Pokemon life. I will say though, this Minun ended up being one of my all-stars. Took out one of the guys, I think he might end up taking him out too, but he was definitely vicious for me. When he sent out this Mesprit, I wasn't really sure I had anything to even beat him. So I ended up strategy-wise just deciding, okay, I know that he's a Psychic, I'm going to send out a Psychic so at least I can block his attacks with mine and hope that Slowbro has something good. Leading up to the match, you just hit random and it doesn't really tell you anything until you get into the match or unless you go to switch. So took a chance with Slowbro And thankfully that Scald, that was a really good move, ended up burning him, which took away his leftovers, because every time he'd gain 7%, he would immediately lose the 7%. And he couldn't hit me with any of his psychic attacks that were special or strong. So ended up really helping me out. And then I was able to beat him with Slowbro, which I'm sure he was probably upset that a Slowbro beat his legendary, but you know, it is what it is. And then once he sends out this Pelipper, it's just a domination on his end. That Rain Dance that came out with it ended up just really putting a hurting on all my folks. And then just the simple Surf, I forgot how bad Ursaring's special defense is. Man, Surf one hit took away half, so I knew I had nothing. And then when he used Roost, didn't stand a chance. And my last Pokemon was Skarmory, and at this point all I could do was hope I was a little faster, which I wasn't, which is why I ended up losing. But respect to this guy, he gave me my first loss here on Pokemon Showdown. But hopefully you guys really like the strategy talk of what I did, and stay tuned for more.